Hi, I'm Patrina Scott from Judgment Index Australia. By now, you've received a copy of your personal narrative document after completing the JI online. Hopefully, you found this process to be enjoyable and simple to complete, even though the statements may have been challenging to arrange in a way that you're satisfied with. It's really important to remember that the Judgment Index results are a snapshot in time based on how you were feeling that day. And the Judgment Index is a tool that measures how someone makes decisions. It is based on research called axiology that looks at how people process information, consider risks, and assess different opinions when making judgments or decisions. The original tool was developed by Robert S. Hartman and was called the Hartman Value Profile. And it was completed using pen and paper, using complex mathematical equations to gather the results. The Judgment Index, the online version, is a much more practical tool to use for companies and can be utilised for recruitment, development, and mentoring, but also to get an overall picture of a company or division's strengths, development areas, and their judgment type. So, how do you use this personal narrative document? Firstly, you need to understand the purpose of this document. If you read this from front to back, you'll be able to identify your natural tendencies or strengths, but also areas that may benefit from improvement. Feel free to share it with your family or friends and open up the discussion. You don't have to, but from experience, it can be really interesting to get their take on it as well. And it's very important at this point to remember there's no perfect JI. Even those people that may have strengths in all areas, they may have a number of cautions. You may see this yourself within your own narrative document. Section 1 is your global or your primary judgment. This section of the narrative report outlines the 3 core areas of your judgment capacity. So when you walk into a room or deal with tasks or a project, what will be your first reaction of how you deal with it? Have a look at what the report is indicating your global scores are. Is your primary strength your ability to relate to others and accept their value, input, and contribution? Or is it the ability to understand processes and being comfortable with set tasks? Or is it the ability to see patterns and connections and to see the big picture? You'll see as we go through this report what makes up these strengths and also what improvements could be made to increase your ability in the area that is least dominant, if you want to. The combination of this and also your strengths makes up your judgment type. So section 2 is your judgment type. This judgment type represents the perspective you bring to a presented situation. Have a look and read the main key traits listed. We see these as your strengths, but you also might like to see others have these same traits too, like your manager. Remember, we're all individuals with different perspectives, so understanding what someone else's judgment type is will help you improve interactions and your relationships with them. So as you read through, you'll come to a frustration point. This frustration point is what really triggers you to be annoyed. You might find the areas identified as needs attention or needs development in this report to be even lower during times of frustration, as your energy levels are most likely impacted negatively. Have a read of your frustration point and see if this relates to things that you've experienced previously. So as we go through the report, it then sections off into 2 main areas, your work side and your self side. As we know, to be the best we can be in our work, whether work is a job you're paid to do or even an unpaid role such as parent, we need to ensure our self is as strong as it can be to deal with what life throws at us. You can see under each indicator, it provides you an understanding of your score, resulting in 5 main categories. There are 5 possible scoring result categories: strong, good, needs attention, needs development, and needs significant development. If you score strong, the report will highlight things to caution, as being strong might impact on how you work collaboratively with others. Sometimes being the best problem solver means you might not involve others, which isn't great if you manage a team where there might be the need to problem solve. Or maybe if you're overly nice and trusting of others, you may find that others can take advantage of you, ending up with you completing the task for them. The strong and good scores can also be areas where you can be confident in your abilities take pride and trust that this is an area where you can apply good judgment. Keep an eye out for strong areas with a caution note throughout the report. These are reminders that having such a strong score may have the need to keep an eye on behaviour that might end up having a negative impact. If your score needs attention, needs development, or needs significant development, then the report will provide tips and techniques on how you can improve and strengthen this, or perhaps how to handle a situation better. For example, if the report indicates you have difficulty coping with a stressful situation, it recommends you break the situation down into manageable pieces to help you overcome the size of the issue. Then you work on each piece at a time. So the report also has sections linked to conceptual balance or blind spots. If you score low in these, it may indicate that there's some areas where you might think you are strong, but there might be something holding you back. It's really common for people who think they are strategic to actually need development in this area due to the impact of other areas around focus and concentration, organisational ability, and low tolerance of others. Finding the areas of development can hone in on what can improve our strengths overall. If you would like a clear summary of your strengths and areas for improvement, you can find this on page 43. You will notice that this is then separated into 3 different areas: your work side, your self side, and a balance of judgment results. Your work side looks at how you make decisions in your professional or organisational context. This includes how we may solve problems at work, how we make decisions, the quality of these, and how fast we can come to this judgment. It also assesses how we assess a risk and make choices based on potential consequences. This is a key factor when looking at the potential for workplace incidents and safety. Our work side also looks at how well we may cope with change at work and adjust to different circumstances, situations, and others within the workplace. Your self side, on the other hand, evaluates how you make judgments about yourself and your personal life. This side is more introspective and looks at how you relate to your own values, your emotions, and your sense of self-worth. It also includes how you currently see your personal experiences and where you currently sit. Key factors in the self side look at how someone might manage stress or self-criticism, how well they understand their own emotions, their motivations, how well they manage emotional responses, and how well someone feels that their current situation aligns with where they would like to be or feel that they should be. And what is really interesting when looking at the work side and self side separately is we can get a deeper understanding of how our decision-making process works in different areas of our life. Often, we find that high achievers may have a very strong work side, however, their self side may not be going so well. And this may be okay for a period of time, but it only takes a slight crisis outside of work to then have a big impact on how someone is showing up on a daily basis, how well they interact with others in the workplace, and just their overall enjoyment at work might shift. Conversely, someone who has a strong self side but who struggles on the work side might be highly self-aware and needs support in making objective decisions and managing external pressures at work. The skills that the JI looks at can be called soft skills or maybe power skills, depending on the terminology you prefer. And these are the skills that enable us to navigate complex social and professional environments, build relationships, and enhance our ability to succeed in a wide variety of contexts. Understanding and developing these skills is not only essential for someone's personal growth and their career advancement, but also for contributing harmonious, effective work environments and for achieving long-term personal success. We really hope you enjoy using your personal narrative report. And you can get further information on the Judgement Index at www.jiau.com.au or by reaching out to your HR department. We welcome your feedback and reflection anytime as well, and you can email us directly at info@jiau.com.au.